Hello and welcome back to the Variant Geek Podcast. I'm Brennan.
I'm Zach.
I was Jason.
Was?
Where are you
Oh,
now?
I currently am.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
How's everybody doing this week?
Oh, vibing, playing some games.
Why do you sound so sad? You're barely picking up on the sound.
I'm playing some games.
Did nothing.
You're 2 feet from the microphone and look. Talk normal again.
I'm playing some
now
games.
you go up.
Some
Some Xenoblade. Is that what you got?
some Xenoblade Chronicles. Trying to get back into Dragon Quest 11
Why not number 1?
because it's old.
Cap.
Playing some Persona 5 Strikers.
You?
Yeah, I know,
You playing
it's a
Persona
surprise.
5? What a shock.
I know. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good, man. I'm playing the ever-living crap out of Animal Crossing.
Bet.
Basic. Jason?
Basic!
I.
Says Persona 5 Strikers and Xenoblade.
Those are more niche games than Animal Crossing.
I'm
no, they're not.
trying to get
Cap.
back into playing Okami. I haven't played it in
Basic.
a while. Have you ever played it?
I've
No,
watched a little bit of a playthrough of it.
you're basic.
Yeah, basic.
You're a weeb.
Yeah?
But
Anyway,
I don't know. When I first, I've only gotten through the first 3 areas of Okami.
just get through all of them.
I'm trying. Gosh darn it.
Be better.
That's the goal. But
Yeah, alright, so, that's the end of the podcast. Thanks for listening.
no.
Alright, bye.
You
No,
want to know what's going on in my
the-
life? I recently re-downloaded Bloons Tower Defense, and let me tell you something.
Your life has changed for the better.
Let me tell you something. I have popped a balloon or two.
When we text you and then an hour later you're like, yes, sorry, I was playing Blues. I was like, what are you doing?
Playing balloons!
Obviously.
Today's topic is RPGs.
Rocket-propelled grenades?
Yes.
Woo!
So what's your favorite type of rocket-propelled grenade?
The rocket-propelled
Royal
grenade.
Panda Grandpas.
Royal Panda Grandpas? I like that better.
Jason, what would you say your favorite RPG of all time is?
I have no clue. What would you say yours is?
Oh, jeez. Well, let's get into that, shall we?
He's gonna say it's Persona 5.
No, actually, I was going to say
Dragon
Star
Age.
Wars Knights of the
Oh,
Old
duh.
Republic.
Yeah, never mind.
One
There's
and
one of the
two.
3.
Which one? 1 or 2?
2 has better combat and more powers and stuff like that,
Yeah,
and it
Jason.
has a more kind of, I guess I wouldn't. I guess I would. I would say it has a deeper story. I guess it touches on more darker elements. You can literally force people to kill themselves.
Whoa! This
Yeah.
is a G-rated podcast. What are you doing?
I don't know, learn about it somewhere. Might as well learn it here.
No.
That is my 11-year-old brother. I take offense to that.
What was that?
But I mean, they're both really fun games, and
Cat, I've never played them.
I've played them.
Excuse you.
The 20 hours I put into the game in the week that I was at your house.
They're really fun games. They're semi-open world. I kind of prefer that in RPGs at this point is
Open world.
open world or
Absolutely.
at least semi-sandbox. I'm not a huge fan of linear games.
Mhm.
anymore,
Yeah.
really.
I'm not anymore. I used to love them, but now I'm kind of...
Like if they have a really, really, really good story, maybe. But
That's
that
why I love
story-
Halo Reach!
That story really has to hook me in.
Yeah.
if I'm
Halo
gonna
Reach is
play
good,
it.
though.
Halo Reach and Halo ODST stories really sucked me in like none of the others did. I like the silence that came up after I said that, because Zach's like, what is a Halo?
What is a Halo? I had the Moa Burger Pringles, so obviously I'm a fan now.
What?
The Pringles that we got,
Yeah.
they're the new kind. They're Moa, or the birds that are in
Yeah.
Halo Reach
Yeah.
that you can shoot like a heathen, and they go.
You can get a perk if you don't.
I know, if you get all the way through without it.
But Brandon, what would you say one of your favorite RPGs is?
One of my favorite, or you want my favorite?
We'll go with your favorite, sure.
I don't know.
What's one of your favorites?
Elder Scrolls.
Which one?
I really like Oblivion, but Skyrim specifically. Because Skyrim took everything that was amazing in Oblivion and made it bigger.
Mhm.
See, you saying, like, it's weird because a lot of the stuff I've seen online and across multiple streamers and stuff like that and YouTube personalities is that Oblivion is the worst out of the out of the Elder Scrolls games.
Really?
Yeah, Oblivion's the worst. Morrowind is at the top of a lot of people's lists.
I don't like Morrowind. I've never heard that. That's the first time I've ever heard that.
Really? I've heard it a lot. That Morrowind's one of the best.
Mm-mm.
Um,
I'm not saying people don't say that because I mean
It's been a
everyone's
long
subjective.
time since I've played Morrowind.
That's the thing. I just haven't played it in a long time.
it did come out on like the original Xbox.
Dude, basically
But
the
I mean,
best.
like, I was watching a streamer recently called Tolomeo, and he played a mod for Morrowind where it was a Star Wars mod. So he was basically going to like Dantooine and stuff like that
Really?
in Morrowind. It seemed kind of cool. But why the Elder Scrolls?
I am a sucker for fantasy.
As we've discussed
before in our other episodes. Go check them out if you haven't. But I love the world of Elder Scrolls. It feels like I'm in rural Scandinavia with dragons and fairies and the Draugr. It's all the folklore of Norse mythology and everything just thrown into a game and spiced up a bit. There's one thing I absolutely love, a book that I own that you guys should check out at some point. And anyone who's also a fan of like Lord of the Rings, I highly recommend. It's a whole collection of where Tolkien came up with a lot of his mythos. Because while he did, he made his own world and it's all his own original stuff.
Yeah.
It's all based off of something.
It's European history.
Mm-hmm. Well, not only. I mean, there's Norse mythology, Scandinavian mythology. There's like Russian mythos, like all kinds of stuff that I didn't even know. Like I was, a huge Lord of the Rings head, but yeah, it's the like Tolkien handbook or something like that, and or a history of Middle Earth or something. I don't know. It's in my room, but I love fantasy, and it's just so good. The voice acting is hilarious because it's not perfect.
Yeah.
And there's like 5 people who are voice actors in the whole game, but I love it. And
Didn't Patrick Stewart voice
Sir
Patrick Stewart voiced somebody in the beginning or Parthenax?
I don't know
What
if he
was
did
it?
Parthenax, dude. I don't remember who was all who.
Oh, I don't remember.
But
What were you doing?
you just keep talking. I'm making sure the mic's not dead.
Oh. Well, I mean, it's still picking up our audio, at least it looks like.
Oh, that's a good indicator, isn't it?
Good job, buddy. Proud of you.
I'm not gonna just unplug the mic and leave.
You very well could.
I won't do that.
But you talk about Cyberpunk 2077
You're the only one who's really played it.
because I was really interested in getting it, and then I heard that a lot of people
a dumpster fire.
a lot of people didn't like it.
The story-wise, it was kind of interesting. Basically, you choose one of your 3 backgrounds that you get to go into. You either live out in the boonies, you are kind of like a gangster almost, kind of rolling with street gangs, or you're one of the higher up, what they call suits. And eventually you get intertangled with, I forgot his name, because I haven't played it in a while.
Is it
but
Keanu Reeves?
No, it's...
No, that's in your head.
Yeah, so, okay, I'll get there. So,
That much I know.
basically, you get entangled with this one guy, and eventually, you guys get tasked with stealing this chip. You need to steal this chip from this huge guy.
Doritos or
Yeah, I think it's more.
he's like he's trying to think of chip brands. He's like,
Pringles.
And eventually, because you go to steal this chip, and the head of the family, or the head of the place that had the chip, killed the head of the family, his father, and they're blaming it on you. and just everything goes sideways, and you get the chip implanted in your brain to save your life, basically. And that chip
like you do.
has Keanu Reeves on it,
Woo!
or Johnny Silverhand, and he was a former terrorist.
Interesting.
And you're trying to like find out how to like get the chip out of you without dying, because it's kind of taking over your body. But the gameplay's kind of fun. You can have like 3 or 4 different things you can equip on your hands. So you can either be like a kind of like a like a knife person.
Okay.
That has like giant blades coming out of your arms. You could have like basically gorilla fists. Or you can
Balloon
shoot
tower
like
defense.
rockets out of your hand, basically.
Interesting.
PK fire.
It has your typical
fire.
kind of colored loop: white, green, blue, purple, orange.
Green? Orange?
And so story-wise, it was okay. Gameplay-wise, it was okay. It didn't stand out from anything, but it was also like it was entertaining. Like I didn't necessarily get too bored playing it. The only problem was there was a crap ton of glitches, and the picture sometimes looked like it. Like I'm pretty sure you've all seen the pictures of how it like looks like it came out for like the PS2. Because there were some really bad times. Texture load-ins would take a while. Multiple game crashes. I mean, it was a really buggy mess, and that's because they tried to rush it out before it was completely done.
And they held it back, didn't they?
They kept pushing it back. Like, it's supposed to come out last year. Not last year. It did come out last year. It's supposed to come out in 2019, I think, in like May.
Yeah.
And it got pushed all the way back to December. Was it? No, it was November. November last year. And even then, it wasn't ready for current gen systems. It was like it looked fine and it ran fine on PC and on next gen systems, but on current gen, which is what it was mainly released for at the time,
it was hot garbage.
It ran poorly. It was terrible. I heard that they've released a bunch of hot fixes and updates for it, and that it might be better now. But at this point, I would wait until it's like $20-$30, which it will be eventually, because the game is not selling well.
I'll buy it when it's cheap. I wanted to buy it originally, but I was very cautious because of everything.
I was very lucky that because I was able to put about 30 hours into it.
And you sold it back, didn't you?
Because so many people were upset that Xbox was like, all right, we'll give everybody a refund regardless of whatever. So I was like, screw it, I got about 30 hours of playtime out of it. I'll just get my money back. And so I did. And I don't remember where that money went, but it went somewhere. I think it went towards Squadrons.
Okay. I have not Squadrons. I have the other two. That Epic Games.
Oh, Battlefront?
Yeah, I have Battlefront 2 and I have Fallen Order, and I really liked Fallen Order, but I wish it were more open world because it was very...
It was very, like, kind of constricted.
It was very...
That was my only downfall with Fallen Order, and that's the only reason I didn't replay it a whole lot. I played through twice.
Yeah.
Like, I want to replay it, but, like, it doesn't really offer... Because it's a linear story.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't really offer a whole bunch of replayability unless you want to do, like, the post, like, the free DLC stuff where you have, like, these challenges.
The challenges, but even then, like, it's like, okay.
I'm like... I mean, I'm hoping with the next projects that they have coming out for Star Wars
interested.
With Ubisoft's new open world Star Wars game that I'm really excited about. Hopefully that, is really good, and I have high hopes for that. They're doing another KOTOR at some point. They've officially announced that. Whether or not it's going to be a remake of KOTOR 1 or KOTOR 2, or if it's going to be its own entity, I don't know yet, but I think Star Wars has a bright future ahead of it, especially now that EA is not the only company that can make games.
Yeah.
Right.
Because EA had the property for like
A while.
7-8 years. They put out 5 games. In 2005 alone, they came out with like 7 games for Star Wars. With KOTOR 2, with Republic Commando, Lego Star Wars.
I am so
Bounty
excited
Hunter,
to
I
play
think.
Republic Commando on the Switch. I
Which
will be
game
buying
is
that immediately. That's Delta Squadron. It's Republic Commando. It's you play as a squad of commandos, and you play as, oh god, I'm blanking on all the names, but you play as the leader of Delta Squad and like you command them around. So like oh my gosh, that game single-handedly alone made me terrified of the Geonosians because
Really?
they go ah! And they go and you say ah! You die. And Super Battle Droids. Super Battle Droids are insanely difficult to kill in that game as well. I'll show you some a little bit later. I have it downloaded on my Xbox. Because it's backwards compatible, and I bought it for like $2 on May the 4th last year. Oh no, yeah, I got it for free.
Yeah,
it was a Game Pass
Gold.
one. What did I buy for really cheap? Oh, KOTOR. I bought KOTOR for really cheap last year, and KOTOR 2, which I still haven't played. Play it. Thanks.
You're welcome.
On with KOTOR 2, I really want to play through it again on a PC.
Do it.
Because that way I can play with the restored content mod.
Do it.
I don't have
Wasn't
a
that like
PC
the one where
to
like
play
you
on.
get the thing that the other wasn't supposed to?
Like there's a lot of stuff that Obsidian had to cut out because they had to push the game out early.
Right.
There's
Hold on a second. We were just talking about that. It was called Cyberpunk.
There's some force powers that were missing, dialogue trees.
Really?
Yes.
A whole planet was cut out.
Okay, Death
I
Star.
mean,
I was gonna say Darth Vader.
there's a lot of stuff that was cut out that they added because the code was still there, which is why people were able to make the restored content mod.
Mm-hmm.
But getting back to RPGs.
I mean, we still own RPGs in a way.
Yeah. Is character creation a big selling point for you? Or,
Yes and no.
Would you rather play a game that's you play as this character, this is what they look like?
So, I'm kind of 50-50 on that, and what I mean by that is I really, really like the possibility. Like, I love a really good, fleshed out character creation system, but my god, when I say I spend way too much time in character creation, I remember the first time I played Fallout 4, I stood in line and got my midnight release copy of it because I had a 5-day weekend the day it came out. So I put like 70 hours into the game in that 5 days. Anyway, I remember when that first came out, I spent literally like 3 hours making a character. Because like, it must look like me. And by golly, I did that by the end of that time.
But could you change the genitalia?
Are you referencing Cyberpunk?
Yes.
Yeah. Not like that, but you could change a...
I cannot believe that was something that they made. Like that
They're
was
like, you know what's a
offered.
good idea? This.
They really said this. Zach?
I could make some funny jokes, but I'll restrain because I don't want to.
Dude, demonetize all the money we're getting off of this?
It wouldn't necessarily be demonetized. It's just I don't know if younger viewers like your brother would want
Should
to
listen to this.
I appreciate that.
stuff.
Thank you.
Because there's some funny jokes and memes I've seen about Cyberpunk.
Did you just say memes?
Character creations.
This man's like, I got a meme.
I've got a meme.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, that was so frustrating. So, we were in Walmart. I'm telling this story now, it's important. We were in Walmart, and they have the Lady Gaga Oreos, and Zach's like, oh, I need to grab these. I was like, really? Do you really want them? He's like, I have to show you a meme. And I'm like, okay, can you not just show me? He's like, no, I need to buy them for it. I'm like, okay. We get back to over to my room, and he's like, alright. I was like, what's the meme? He's like, oh. He picks up the Oreo, he eats it, and he goes, ah. And then just dies laughing. And I'm just staring at him. I'm like, you spent $4 on this.
Best meme ever.
You
Yes.
spent $4 to go,
Worth it.
Alright.
And now Lady Gaga's gonna sue us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now we're sued. No, she's gonna partner with us. Anyway, question.
Yes.
Pokemon.
What about it?
RPG?
I mean, it's a turn-based RPG.
The thoughts. Even though we just had a whole episode on Pokemon.
I mean, it's a turn-based RPG. That's what you take turns.
You RPG.
Thanks. I'm
Is
asking
that what that means?
Opinion, and he's like, this is what it is.
Opinions. Wait, what do you?
What do you think about the game? Do you enjoy the dynamic? Like what? Oh my god!
I mean, as we
compared to other RPGs that you have played, how does it stack up? How about that?
I would say it's pretty low. In
Really?
terms of gameplay, because I like to be challenged a little bit, and the newer games, especially as we discussed last episode, are getting easier.
To you, but not to new players.
I would say Pokemon's pretty low in terms of my RPG list. I still enjoy my Pokemons, and I still have a lot of fun playing them.
This man said
in terms of role-playing games, I prefer my Personas and my KOTORs and my Mass Effects and Dragon Ages to
those games aren't
Pokemon.
So like, me playing through KOTOR was not hard. Me playing through Dragon Age, even upping the difficulty a ton, was not hard.
I
So,
also kind of like the stories. Like, those actually have more engrossing stories than Pokemon does.
Excuse the heck out of you. You getting thrown into the wild with a wild
to go
animal?
stop a corporation at 10 years old that's inevitably evil, always.
You're 10 years old, and a scientist says, go do things. Here's an electric rat. Have
Here's
fun.
an electric rat. I'm not paying you for this research, by the way.
It's your first unpaid internship, and you're 10 years old.
I mean, like, have either of you played Dragon Age Origins?
Yes.
What'd you think? Was it a fun game?
It was okay.
It's
I got it for like $10, so
Oh.
I'm not complaining.
It's one of those few games that I can still go back and just continuously replay.
Really?
and
Really?
Not necessarily
I didn't
bored.
get that out of it. I got bored. I
And
haven't
like
finished
especially the last boss, we have to kill the archdragon.
Real! Wow! Just spoil for me, jeez.
It was a pain in my hiney. It
Your
was
hiney?
my hiney.
You know what was sadly really, really easy? It was the final boss in Gears 4.
Was it easy? I wouldn't know.
Who was the final boss in Gears 4?
It was, oh my gosh, what's even the name? I want to say it was like, I almost want to say it was like a hive queen or some crap like that, but basically you blow up the big bad locust main boil.
Spoilers.
Like always, get
And
over
you run
yourself.
away.
It's you spoil, I spoil. Easy money, you live. Anyway,
Do I? I mean,
Hope not.
if we're speaking of gear, no, I wouldn't say Gears.
Gears is not an
It's a
RPG.
shooter. Because boss-wise, we'll talk about it in our difficult boss episode.
Oh god, the bosses are easy.
The last boss, Rom, I think that's what his name is. That one was kind of a pain.
General.
Yeah, General Rom,
Rom.
with the bats and everything. That one was actually kind of difficult.
Did you
If you're a
guys-
plebeian,
Yes. Zach, did you ever play the Spider-Man?
Marvel Spider-Man.
the one on PS4
PS4?
or
Yes,
5.
I did.
I never did.
I played it once
Mm-hmm.
with Arter. I
And
think it was Arter.
probably.
I really enjoyed it.
It was fun. It brought back like the web swinging, which is something everybody goes to when it comes to Spider-Man.
Nah,
Which is fair.
you're capping.
Was really fun and entertaining. The combat was Batman Arkham-esque, but took its own personal
Mm-hmm.
spins on it.
Have you ever heard of a game called Infamous?
Yes.
Yes.
So I remember playing the first Infamous on PS3
Yeah, I think it was PS3.
and playing through it and beating it and really enjoying it. And this Spider-Man game,
The Spider.
the Spider game made me think of Infamous, and I really enjoyed.
Yeah, that open world
Yeah.
beat 'em up esque type of a thing.
Yeah, when you're in a city, and I really enjoyed that game.
So like it's like Just Cause, like that.
Literally, yeah.
Or even GTA. You can make that argument.
Literally.
I see. I'm in a select population of gamers that I'm not a huge fan of superhero games. I didn't really care for the Arkham series. I didn't really look into or care to look into the newest Spider-Man. It's just never been intriguing to me.
Really?
Yeah, I don't really know why, but superhero games have never really been my forte. Not a huge fan. Like, I like, as we're, not talking about RPGs now, apparently. I really like, Injustice.
Really?
Because I like those characters. I like DC more than Marvel. There, I said it. But, yeah.
Even.
Okay.
Well, I mean, one RPG that I tried to get into, especially over the Corona break last year, was Monster Hunter, especially Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, we tried to play that together.
So much, and it's overwhelming.
Like in the
about how much stuff there is, how much stuff you can collect, all the monsters.
In the intro, when they're like 8 pages of like 9 paragraphs long, you're like, bro, I'm not reading all this, and then it's all important.
I tried.
You really said no.
Mm-hmm.
They said yes.
There's a new Monster Hunter coming out, Monster Hunter Rise on the Switch.
Right.
Maybe when it's cheaper, I might get it and try it out, but especially if it kind of dumbs things down a little bit. But Monster Hunter World, everybody that I've heard loves it. I mean, apparently it's a phenomenal game, really fun. I can't get into it. I can't.
Dude, just get into the game. God.
Did you buy Immortals Phoenix Rising?
I
never
got it for
did.
Christmas.
You did? Did you play? Have you played it?
I've put about 30 hours and 30 hours into it.
See, I think that it looks fun, and I want to get it.
It's like, if you like Breath of the Wild, it has a lot of similarities to Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
In terms of like when you instead of a glider, you have your wings.
Who's the main? Is it Icarus?
No, your name is Phoenix.
Oh.
It's literally about you, Phoenix, rising up to defeat the main villain.
Good job.
It has really funny kind of narration from Zeus and Prometheus.
Really?
You have to basically go around, because the gods, 4 of the main gods, were turned into stuff, and you have to go and save them. And you have your same shrines as you do these kind of like temple things where you have to do challenges inside of them to beat them and get like stamina or whatever. It's a really fun game. Is it worth $60? Yeah, it is. It is.
Is it worth? Yes. You really were like, yes. Spend that money, gosh darn it.
It's a really fun game. I should go back and finish it at some point. I just have so many games in my backlog right now.
Oh my gosh, I have so much crap I need to finish.
That are going to take forever to complete. I still have Persona 5 Strikers, which to my understanding, I've only put about 13 hours into it. To my understanding, could take upwards of 60, 70 hours to complete.
Okay, watching you play that, going to different places where you have to run into a door.
Oh,
is
that
one of the worst game mechanics I've seen in a long time. You
can you elaborate?
You have to run. If you want to leave an area, you have to run at the door.
That's if you want to leave a fight. If you want to leave a fight, like let's say that you're too underleveled, that's how you get out of the fight. Is you just run away.
You have to run into the door. You push the invisible door. Thank you for the face.
Seems dumb.
I need to finish Dragon Quest XI, which to my understanding, because I had to restart it because I got it for the Switch instead of the PlayStation 4.
Oh no.
So that one I think I still have 50, 60 hours left.
Oh no! Sorry, that got me. Oh no.
I still have Xenoblade Chronicles, which I just got, which is, I think I still have like 30, 40 hours left, give or take. I want to beat the Blood and Wine expansion for The Witcher 3 because I've heard it's so good. And
You mean you haven't beaten the game in 1 week?
And so I need to finish my current playthrough so I can get to it. And so I got another like 30, 40 hours there.
I mean, you didn't beat Paper Mario in a week?
Fire Emblem 3 Houses I need to finish at some point.
I never got into Fire Emblem.
I got it because I was like, I've heard it's good. I might as well try it. And I'm actually kind of enjoying it. It has a decent story.
Because it's turn-based, is it not?
It's turn-based kind of strategy game.
Because I hate turn-based.
Really?
I've just not ever really truly enjoyed it.
Why?
I don't like the idea of like doing something and then having to wait there, take damage, wait. Oh, now it's my turn.
That's fair because like sometimes the RNG absolutely screws you. Because like in Dragon Quest, I'm doing a quest where I need to fight these two guys, and the guy, I have like 96 health, and 3 times in a row the guy crit me for 60 damage. I'm like, okay, thanks.
Well, so in Paper Mario, have you seen the like battling style that they have?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
So for those viewer that we have, when you go and battle, like when you're battling just like minions, like Goombas and turtles, what it does is it sets you in the middle, and then it sets the enemies on like a turnstile, and then you have to organize them either in straight lines or blocks of 4 so you can attack them. And if you don't do it correctly, you don't get like perks, and then if you don't get the perks and you can't kill the monsters, it's their turn and they do damage to you. And then in the reverse, when you're fighting bosses, the boss is in the center and you have to like create a path with arrows to the center to attack them. Yes. And if you don't do it correctly, the boss literally regains all of its health, and you sit there and you're like, I want to die.
Hey, happy Pi Day, by the way.
It is Pi Day.
I keep forgetting it's Pi Day. I need to go buy an entire pie to celebrate.
Yeah, you do.
I will go buy a pie. Not for me.
I was like, of course not for me. You don't care about me. Anyway.
But, anyway.
He looked at me like, what?
It's, like, turn-based like that, just, But I like the story of that game. And the boot car!
The boot car!
That's fair. I mean,
I really like turn-based in, like Dragon Age. Like we were talking about. I liked that a lot. Where, like, it's turn-based, but you're free to move around or do whatever you want. But, like, you actually doing combat. Same with KOTOR. It's the same stuff. You can hit the button as many times as you want, but it's got to go through its cycle. I like that. I don't like stop and wait. Push button, push button, push button. You know what I mean?
That's fair. And, like, I honestly, I don't care, really, if it's turn-based, where it's like Octopath Traveler or your old school RPGs, like Final Fantasy and stuff like that, where you're like, I choose to do this action, and then I do that action, and then I wait for all my teammates to do their actions, and then the enemies to do their actions. I kind of like that. Or if it's, like, I'm trying to think of a more recent game that has, like, a really interactive, like Final Fantasy 15. That one has a pretty interactive combat system where you're constantly, every action you do happens immediately, and you don't have to wait for your enemy to attack. Because, I mean, both of them require a certain amount of strategy in order to...
no strategy in video games ever.
No strat.
No strat ever. In order to get through it. But, Anything else y'all want to talk about with RPGs?
I think I'd have to actually probably say my favorite RPG is... Oh god, now I'm second guessing which one. But definitely the Fallout series is my favorite for RPGs.
That's fair.
76.
The look.
I'm getting a death glare.
Dude, Fallout 76 pre the settlers returning NPCs being added back in, so much better than when the NPCs were in the game.
Yeah.
I remember getting that game for Christmas and being excited, and then playing it and being like, this sucks.
This is garbage.
Because there's nothing to do. And even now, it's like, like it's fun. I enjoy it now. But, good lord.
Well, I mean, then you have one of the best comeback stories, I guess, in development in No Man's Sky. We tried playing it.
I still don't like it.
I kind of liked it. Like, I like the concept of it. Like, I actually always wanted to do something similar to that.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish there was more...
You wish you could go fly more?
I wish it was... Because that's an example of it being almost too open.
Yeah.
Where there's no story really kind of holding you in. You can literally just do anything that you want. And because I really want, with that open world Star Wars game, where you can play as anybody. You could be a bounty hunter and join like the Bounty Hunters Guild.
You capping.
Or be a Jedi apprentice and go through the temple on Coruscant.
You mean you can be a bounty hunter and...
Or just be a pirate. Be a space pirate.
Some people call me the space cowboy.
Pirate.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, I respect what happened with that game, with them coming back from a very, very disappointing launch to having a pretty high player base for...
That's fair.
What it was.
What did they change from launch to now where they got a lot more fans?
They added a lot more stuff you could do, I think. I think they added some more NPCs. I think they allowed, like, you could start fighting people. They allowed more multiplayer, I think.
They made a complete game as it was promised before launch.
Yeah,
Oh.
What they launched was not what they promised. A lot of stuff they promised you could do, you couldn't do. And now it's a complete game, and I mean it's fun for the right people. If you like an open world game, if you like Minecraft in space, but slightly more realistic, No Man's Sky is for you, because you can basically get your own ships, you can barter with aliens,
But
you
see,
can create your own homes.
I love Minecraft. I love it. But I didn't like No Man's Sky that much at all. What did we even do? What did we stop because it was like, you will travel here in 48,000 years?
I think we stopped because you kept dying, or I kept
No,
something.
because we were in...
Because we were on the ground, and then, like, oh, it was because you kept, like, taking damage from something, like maybe the rain or something like that. Because you can take damage from the rain. Because some planets have, like, acidic rain. Some planets have hostile
Rain.
creatures.
Something happened, because, like, it was that... I know we got super annoyed because we kept dying in the same place. But it wasn't like, I'm annoyed, I'm done. We either were like, oh, something else is downloaded, or oh, this is ready, or something. Or we just stopped for the day. I don't even remember, but we never played it again, essentially.
I honestly do not remember.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does. Everything matters.
I kind of want to, because I guess, I guess that's it. Like, because I just shared my opinion on it. What is more important to you in an RPG? Is it story, or is it open world where you can kind of do what you want?
I like having an open world where I can do whatever I want without any real limitation, except for, like, maybe my level or my gear. Like, that's another reason I really like Skyrim and Fallout, is because you can do whatever you want, and there's not really a whole lot holding you back.
See,
Sorry. Okay.
Go.
I really, really like. I think they missed the mark a little bit, but the Outer Worlds. If you took the Outer Worlds, the way that game is structured, where there is a full story, but there's not the limitations like with like Skyrim or with like Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4. Like you shoot a quest giver, they like fall down and get back up. Outer Worlds, you shoot a quest giver in the head, they're dead, and you can't do the quest. I like that. And now if you kinned that with like the world of New Vegas, oh my god, I'm never playing anything else ever again.
Which is more important to you, side quests or the main quest? Are you guys the type of people that like, you know, once you get in, you do all of the side quests first, and then you start going down the main quest?
Yes. I like to finish an area and then move on.
Okay, another thing with the open world aspect of RPGs, are you guys the type of people that like, if you see a shiny object, you drop whatever you're doing, you run towards that shiny object, and you try and collect every single thing that you can collect in that game?
I can actively tell you that if you Zach would watch me play Skyrim, you would blow your brains out, because I am so very like, I go into a cave and I'm going as
edge to edge,
like edge to edge, touching everything, like touching, looking, seeing everything, and I have to do everything before I leave the cave, because I'm like, maybe I forgot something, maybe I can take this loot and sell it.
Yep. And I mean, that's why I don't stream when I play stuff like that, or like, oh my gosh, that's why I love Animal Crossing, is the fulfillment. Because you're always getting something new, you're always adding to, you're always, it's never gonna like stagnate. They're always gonna, well, until they come out with another one, nothing's gonna really stagnate.
Yeah,
stuff's always gonna be coming out and updating in theory, and I love that because I need everything. I need to collect you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I talked to you about the FOMO with Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
And that's something that I really don't like about Animal Crossing. That's something that...
You want to explain that in case someone doesn't
fear
know?
of missing out, FOMO. That's one thing like that really makes me hesitant on purchasing and getting Animal Crossing, because the reason why I get Animal Crossing, like the reason why I loved playing the DS or the GameCube Animal Crossing is because it's its own set world. There's no like outside influences coming in, where like last year during Easter time they had the Easter, like the Zipper. Zipper.
Terrifying.
Is his name.
Terrifying.
And they had like for a month, Zipper was there, and if you didn't get the game within that month, and if you didn't play it within that month, you didn't get anything Zipper offered.
Mm-hmm.
Versus like in the DS or the GameCube version, where there's no like outer, like actual real world influence on the game, where you get the game and you sit, and then all you do is collect bug, collect fossil.
And see, that's where I personally I like New Horizons more than that, because I like that. I like the events, because I personally think it's a really nice touch where it gives incentive to play maybe more, or to explore more, or do more that you wouldn't necessarily do during those events. Or like when Chuck's there for his fishing tourney, you catch a bunch of fish and do stuff like, and like every day there's a new visitor that comes to your island that like, oh, today maybe it's Flick, and today I'm going to catch bugs all day, or today it's the plant guy, so I'm going to go catch a bunch of money, make a bunch of bells so I can get a bunch of new types of flowers. I like that. I don't have the fear of missing out with it. I like it because with all those events, maybe you don't finish everything for Zipper for what he's offering. 365 days he's back. Mm-hmm. And it gives replayability in that sense, where I think like if you don't, no life it like I do, to collect everything in the event, you can get it again next year. And even if you don't get those, the chances of like someone who having like the stuff you don't have, and maybe you have what they don't have, and then you just link if you don't, if Nintendo Online's not blocked like it is at the school. Like for what I'm gonna do if with this Easter, if it's different stuff and not the same, what I'm gonna do is probably like when I'm home, everything that I've collected. If my sister hasn't collected any of it, I'll probably just give her some bells, and she'll just throw those items at me on my island, like via going on linking on Nintendo Online or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
So like I like that because it's it gives the incentive to keep playing the game, and it gives the possibility to go back to it. I don't have a fear of it. Yes, it's annoying. Like this past Christmas, I really didn't like the snow events at all because you had to make perfect snowmen, and I couldn't because I didn't have the patience or wherewithal. So
You really said no.
So I'm like, Kaylee, here's money. Give
me snowmen.
I guess 2 more things I want to bring up before we stop with RPGs is, do you like, I don't think you have played them, but you've at least played Valhalla. Do you like the RPG aspect of Assassin's Creed, or do you wish it would revert back to its older ways?
I'm very mid about it because
Good answer. Oh.
No, I lied. I like Valhalla more
Valhalla.
than what I've played. The last I really played a whole lot was Black Flag, and even that it was slowly becoming less about super stealthy, but
Yeah.
you didn't have gear choice. I liked having the gear choice, which would completely change your play style, while still having the elements of stealth involved the entire time, if you really wanted to. But I liked that it was more of an RPG because it's becoming very stale and stagnant with Assassin's Creed. Before Odyssey, it was very stale for me because it was the same thing over and over. Sneak here, follow this person, do this, and it was never different.
Okay.
The only difference that I really liked recently was like the naval combat in Black Flag. That was like, whoa, this is incredible. This was like a mini side thing in AC3 that happened twice, and I really liked this.
Yeah.
But other than that, that was about the only new thing that got added over years. And then Syndicate tried, or is it Syndicate? Is that the one with the French Revolution?
That's Unity.
Unity tried with gear, and it was crap. I did not like Unity.
Unity was, because I think Unity was the first game I ever played on my Xbox One. Because I think I got it for Christmas.
Yeah.
And it was okay. But yeah, I agree with you that Assassin's Creed was becoming stagnant. I don't know if necessarily the RPG route is the right route for it, especially because... It just
needs something different.
Especially because it's called Assassin's Creed, and
there was no assassins in Valhalla.
Stealth is, heavily implied. And while you can stealth, that is an option in Valhalla.
It's not as heavily played upon.
It's not as, focused on as being a berserker and just going in and absolutely annihilating everybody.
Right.
And then I guess my last point is something else we haven't talked about yet is MMORPGs. With WoW, with
my God, there's so many. There's Lord of the Rings. There's RuneScape. There's
SWTOR.
Yes.
Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Wizard 101. A Pirate 101.
Let me tell you something. I spent many an hour playing RuneScape.
I know you talked about that. You played all of the RuneScape when you were a youngin'.
Other than that stint we had playing WoW, the most time I've put into playing an MMORPG is either ESO.
We played a lot of ESO. I forgot about that.
That was the one game I actually really played a lot on my laptop before it decided to turn into a turbojet. Was Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Yeah. I played a lot of that.
It's fun. It's interesting. A lot of the DLC looks really cool, and I want to get into it. I just I don't have a computer. B, I don't have necessarily the time, and C, it's expensive. Any other comments you guys want to make on anything RPG related?
I mean, since you mentioned MMORPGs, I don't think any really do it better than WoW. There's a reason they've been around as long as they have with this strong of a player base as they have, even through the rocky times where some of their stuff was not received well. They still continue to dominate that market, and I think the reason why is just the quality of the games they put out. Because stuff is actually, is finished. There's not a whole lot of problems mechanically with their games, or with their updates, I should say. Because it is different for their story based stuff like Diablo or like their stuff like Overwatch. It's different, but like with WoW, oh my goodness, it's so cut clean and polished, and it really is a beast of nature as far as like a developer's wet dream goes. So I think that really corners the market, and that's why it's been around as strong as it has for as long as it has. That's about all I need to say about that.
Preach, queen.
Alright, bet.
Anything else you want to add, Jason?
I don't think so.
Alright.
Give me an open world bounty hunter game. That's all I want. Remaster Bounty Hunter from the Nintendo GameCube. Thank you.
Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
I think we'll end the podcast there.
Goodbye.
Thank you guys for listening. And if you want, tune into our Twitch channels
No.
at twitch.tv/forestallcash014 and twitch.tv/shepherd6. The links will be in the description.
And for those of you who couldn't hear the mouse just say that, it was for... I'm just kidding.
Wow. As we play really poorly at Apex and
I'm good at Apex. You're dog doo-doo.
Excuse you.
Oh wow.
But thank you guys for listening, and tune in next week for our next episode.
Bye, Brody.
Bye, Brody.
Bye, Brody.